Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Well, to get things started, of course, I have to take a picture because I'm clinically incapable of getting up on a stage without doing a demo. So take a photo here. As some of you may know, what Ontela does is makes it ridiculously easy to get pictures off of camera phones. So I just took a picture of everybody here. I'm not running any software or anything. What you're going to see is in about a minute or two, but certainly by the end of this talk, that picture will be posted up on the internet and everybody will be able to see it, which I'll show you when we're done. So a little bit about our company. It started in a garage, of course, as all great things do. It started when I was building a picture frame. I took a picture of this picture frame because I was very proud of it. I wanted to post this picture on my blog so I could show it to people, and I could not figure out how to get the picture off the camera phone. I actually took a picture of the camera phone so that I'd have the picture for posterity. I never did figure out how to solve that problem. And I thought, boy, it would make so much sense if this phone, which can see the internet, and my computer upstairs, which can see the internet, could in fact see each other. And those pictures would just be delivered automatically to the places I care about. So we formed the company Ontela around the notion of automatically delivering every photo you take on your camera phone, automatically saving it to the places you care about most. Now today, I'm going to talk a little bit less about the standard company pitch and overview, and instead, just for variety's sake, I'm going to dive in a little bit on one particular piece of it. And everybody knows when you're looking at a technology startup, you've got the usual challenges: technology, team, and market. I always say in any startup, one of those is going to be the really, really hard part. You may be doing astrophysics, or you may be putting together some deep specialties that not everybody's got. In our case, for us, it was the channel. We decided very early on that we were going to sell through wireless carriers. And let me tell you, that's not something you do lightly. As if to remind me of this, just yesterday I had lunch with a potential new customer who I first pitched 4 years ago and is not yet a customer at a large wireless carrier. So it's a huge and long sales cycle, and one that we've worked on successfully. But today I'm going to walk you a little bit through how we made this decision as a company and how we came out to the other side, some of the analysis we did in pursuing it, so you can see sort of how we got to where we are, and then I'll wind up with a little bit more about the company. So I'm going to talk about why Facebook is like the swine flu and has absolutely nothing in common with mobile applications. It starts out with somebody who has a problem and is very happy because they've discovered a solution. Let's say Facebook or some other viral social network. That person who's excited about it is going to go tell all their friends about it, who are all going to become infected, and very soon you've got a ton of people who are excited to use your product with absolutely no marketing budget spent whatsoever. This is why you see so many billion-dollar companies on the web and you see so few of them in many other areas, is because this notion of taking something that's incredibly powerful, of something that really solves a problem for people, and having it spread for free among all the people who have similar problems is the most powerful marketing notion that's come to light. And it's something that people have been taking advantage of over the past decade to build a ton of value in private companies. If we could, this is what we would want to do. You wind up with one person who loves the product being able to infect tons of others. And in fact, I did a little research just to compare with some actual viral phenomenon. This is from Wikipedia. The important thing is on the right, the number of people who one infected person infects. Now, to compare, we did a little research to compare some social viral phenomena. And as you can see, it actually maps out pretty nicely. It was pure coincidence that they sort of sorted out like that. But, you know, Facebook's right up there with polio, Gmail with, you know, HIV, and MySpace with SARS. So this is going to be published in an article in Wireless Week shortly. If I can get some of these phrases printed in Wireless Week, I'm going to consider my career a success. So viral success is all about if you can get one person to infect somebody else. 1.1 person. If you can get 1.1 person infected, then what you're going to do is you're going to build a fantastically valuable company with a minimal investment of marketing. This is what everybody wants to do. You want to have a product that's so compelling that one person goes and tells their friends. Let me tell you how this works in mobile. I'm so excited because I've got a product. Let's say it's Ontela's product. I'm so excited because I've got a product on my cell phone. I want to go tell everybody about it. So I go and I go tell 6 of my friends. Well, of those 6 of my friends, 65% don't have a data plan. So more than half the people I tell are immune. In fact, I cannot infect people with my amazing, awesome experience with my great mobile service because they don't have a data plan. 75% of them are going to be on a different carrier. And as you may know, mobile applications generally have to be customized per carrier. 70% don't have smartphones. So if you're developing against smartphone platforms, which is the easiest to do, then 70% of the market is immune. 98% don't have iPhones. So if you're focusing on the iPhone market and you're looking outside of Seattle in the Valley, then 98% of the world is immune to what you're doing, et cetera. So what you find is this one person who is so happy and wanted to tell their friends can't. Now that means that the mobile application business is a very specialized world in which you cannot follow the models that work so well for social networking at large. And that's why we've taken on this challenge of selling directly to and through mobile operators. Instead, we use a more traditional path. We start out by signing a carrier who has access to tens of millions of customers and can reach them at very little cost. That operator will pre-install our service on the phone. What that means is, if you buy a phone, literally, the first picture you take on this phone will be delivered to your email address automatically, along with links that show you how to set it up to deliver automatically to your PC hard drive, to your favorite websites, etc. But that happens without you having to do anything, and importantly, without us having to pay anything for marketing. Some percentage of those people activates their trial and sets up, that's 40% incidentally. Some percentage of those sign up, 13.5% of those sign up, and start paying us $2.99 a month. This is a more traditional marketing exercise. It's a very difficult one. It's one that requires a long runway, a lot of patience, long sales cycles to the carriers. It's what we've built our company around. And I'll tell you a little bit about how we're doing with that. We've signed up 30 carriers representing a total of 114 million addressable subscribers. That's not our subscribers, that's the carrier subscribers. Verizon, T-Mobile, and Ontela being the biggest names out of that bunch. We're pre-installed on phones from all the top 5 handset manufacturers, with more coming all the time. We're available on most of the major platforms, with one exception, iPhone, where we found that we could not use this central push-down funnel effectively. In fact, we'd just be thrown into the great mass of 40,000 undifferentiated applications, hoping for a spot at the top of the list. So we haven't gone to the iPhone platform. And as I indicated, 13.5% who try it buy. On the first time a user takes a picture, the first time a user puts this on their phone, if they already have a phone and install it on the phone, if it didn't come pre-installed, our average user has 120 photos that are unlocked the very first time. We've raised $15 million to date from an assortment of great investors. And 2009 for us is really about taking this model that we've proven on the 27 small regional carriers that we built out with and deploying it against these large carriers who really make the numbers shine. And so finally, let me show you that picture. I'm going to open up my photo bucket page here where that photo has been posted. And we'll see that along with any excuse to show pictures of my kids. And and with that, I see the sign, and I'll take some questions. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Any questions?
So Dan, how do those numbers translate into actual paying customers, and how much opportunity is there to harvest the investment in going through this laborious distribution channel?
That's a good question. So we don't announce the number of total sales, but you can get some idea if you look at the size of the operators that we're working with. So to date, we've deployed most of these pre-installed phones on very small operators. So a typical example would be Cellular South or Cincinnati Bell. They're very similar to large operators, and it's easy to draw comparisons, but you're talking about 500,000 subscribers as compared to 80 million for Verizon. So on those, you can look at the numbers. You can say 40% are going to start up the trial, 13.5% are going to convert to $2.99 a month, and you can just apply that funnel to whatever size operator you've got. To give you some idea of scale, recently we had 40 phones on the Verizon network. We had one phone that was pre-installed on the Ontela network, which was signups were about threefold what we're seeing across Verizon's entire 80 million subscriber base. So you can imagine that order of magnitude difference between the channel properly executed and some of the experiments we were doing that didn't yield the results that we're looking for is multiple zeros, multiple orders of magnitude. So now as we're deploying those pre-installed phones onto major carriers, we're seeing the opportunity to recoup all that investment that we put in and then more.
I just went through on Samsung, the experience you're describing works great. It seems like one of the greatest strengths you've got, other than the technology, is relationship with the carriers. Where do you go with that with more apps requiring other apps? Because you're one of the first to get traction in this mobile app space.
Yeah, there's actually very few applications that come and take advantage of this model of being an experience that the user can try and then opt into if they want to work. It's unusual for a software to be on the phone. It's very unusual for that software to actually be configured and running when you get your phone in the first place. So as a company, we see ourselves as helping carriers in their fundamental mission of helping folks communicate. So without going into particular products, what you should expect to see from us is more and more rich experiences of how I can communicate with my friends, with my colleagues, whether it be text, video, images, etc. Communicating phone to phone and moving data around.
So I did the math, and it suggests that you are doing $1 million with that one small customer. And so if you have 27, you should be at a $27 million revenue run.
Yes, so that assumes that every single handset that we've got on that small carrier is covered, which is not true. So we're in the process of rolling out a whole different swaths of handsets across these customers. So to give you, to put that factor into perspective, there's about 12 to 20 different handsets on these small carriers. And so if we're supporting 3 or 4 of them, which is a typical sort of deployment on the small carriers, it's a significantly smaller chunk than that. And not all those small carriers, we got it right the first time. So what I'm showing you is the results of experiments across a whole bunch of these. But that's the model that we've clicked into, and that's the upside that we're looking at on these larger carriers. So it's a matter of having taken a whole bunch of different products, everything from putting it on deck and having people download it, to having the salesperson demo it and actually set it up for you, to having it pre-installed on the phone, taking all of these, taking the experiments that work best, and then deploying those against the large carriers and the large opportunities that we've got. Great, thank you very much.